Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Shanks' sword has a brutal power, something that was indirectly revealed in the most recent chapters of the manga. And in today's video, I will reveal all of this to you. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Guys, let's talk about Shanks' devil fruit and its connection to the sword griffin, which has always generated a lot of speculation within the One Piece universe. Throughout the long journey of the series, we've uncovered several revelations and mysterious interactions that lead us to believe that Shanks' connection to a devil fruit, especially one directly linked to his sword griffin, is more than just a coincidence. In recent chapters like chapter 1138, this theory gained more weight with the introduction of Shamrock, a celestial dragon revealed to be Shanks' twin brother, creating an unexpected and layered relationship. However, what really catches our attention here is not just this revelation of kinship, but the fact that Shamrock possesses a sword that in some way seems to bring out characteristics very similar to what we imagine could be a devil fruit ability, which might also be linked to Shanks' sword. Chapter 1138 begins by revealing something essential. Shamrock is Shanks' brother, although he grew up separated from him. This revelation alone breaks a paradigm, as Shanks has always been presented as an independent pirate with no obvious ties to the celestial nobility or any royal lineage. But the truth begins to unfold, and what the story brings us is a much deeper relationship than we imagined. Loki, an intriguing character who has an aversion to celestial dragons, is stunned to see that Shanks and Shamrock share the same face, but with a big difference. While Shamrock represents the world of the Tenryubito, Shanks refuses to get involved with the moral impositions of his status and chooses to live in the dirty lower world, as he himself describes it. This creates a very interesting tension because we see that although they share the same lineage, their choices and paths are completely different. And this difference takes us directly to the central point of our theory, the connection of Shanks' sword with the devil fruit. Shamrock, when revealing his ability, pulls out a sword that evokes a very peculiar scene. He summons Cerberus, a three-headed dog that is not only a threatening figure but a powerful entity seemingly connected to his sword in some way. What's most notable is that each of Cerberus's heads carries a sword in its mouth, and the way Shamrock uses these swords and sends them to attack Loki suggests that the sword has properties beyond a mere blade. It seems to have the ability to summon creatures, transform them, and even manipulate their shape in a dynamic way. This leads us to a conclusion. Shamrock's sword, and perhaps Shanks's as well, could be linked to a devil fruit, perhaps one that grants the ability to summon and control mythical creatures, or even transform an ordinary sword into an entity that can take shape and make complex transformations like Cerberus. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Shanks' sword, called Griffon, is associated with a griffin, a mythical creature that, by nature, combines the characteristics of a lion and an eagle, representing strength, majesty, and a certain balance between the heavens and the earth. This connection with a mythical creature is no coincidence. We know that in One Piece, the nature of devil fruits is very much linked to the concept of granting powers that are somehow related to beings or entities that have great symbolism and power. Shanks has always been portrayed as a character with exceptional swordsmanship and a remarkable mastery over his weapons. So, Griffon, in addition to being a high-level blade, might have more to offer than we imagine. The theory I'm starting to build here is that Shanks' sword could, in fact, be more than just a sword. It could be a manifestation of a devil fruit, granting him the ability to summon and control a creature resembling the griffin, or even take on the properties of a griffin in times of need. It's possible that Shanks, like Shamrock, possessed a fruit that not only gives him the strength of an exceptional warrior, but also the ability to control a mythical creature through his sword. It could be that Griffin is not just a weapon, but a means of channeling a more complex ability similar to the one shown by Shamrock. In my view, this fruit could be linked to a power that manipulates the forces of nature or creation, something very close to what Shamrock demonstrated when summoning Cerberus. If Shamrock's fruit is capable of summoning creatures from his sword, perhaps Shanks' fruit also has a similar ability, but in his case, directed towards a creature that is closer to his nature and philosophy. The Griffin, a being that symbolizes strength, majesty, and the union of heaven and earth. And Griffin, therefore, could be a reflection of this, a direct connection to the ability to create and control such a creature. Additionally, when we consider the development of the plot and Shanks' role in it, we see that he not only serves as a powerful pirate, but as someone who carries a great legacy. His role in the series is not limited to being just a strong enemy or ally, but someone someone with a deep connection to what is happening in the world, including the most significant events. He is involved in the balance between the forces of the world government and piracy. This would not be possible without a power as unique as what a devil fruit like this could provide. At the same time, like any other devil fruit, this one would come with its own limitations and costs, which is what makes Shanks such an interesting character. He is someone who, despite having significant power, chooses to use it wisely, always seeking to balance what is right and what is necessary in a world in constant conflict. Therefore, Shanks's devil fruit might not only be a combat power, but also a representation of the balance and majesty he carries. His sword, Griffin, could be the key to understanding not only Shanks's abilities, but also his journey as a pirate and what he represents for the future of the world. By connecting his sword with a devil fruit that summons mythical creatures, Shanks might be carrying with him a power that transcends simple combat, but is also deeply linked to his destiny and philosophy of life. However, perhaps Shanks's sword Griffin possesses a power that is not as simple as we might imagine. It is possible that instead of a devil fruit directly connected to the sword, what we are seeing is something more complex, involving the technology and ancient knowledge of the celestial dragons, as suggested by Shamrock. After all, in the world of One Piece, advanced and mysterious technologies, such as the weapons of the ancient kingdom, are recurring and highly important themes. The celestial dragons, with their technological superiority, could be responsible for creating or modifying weapons in ways that surpass the capabilities of a typical devil fruit, offering a power far beyond the simple summoning of creatures or transformation of objects. Chapter 1138 not only introduces the relationship between Shanks and Shamrock, but also gives us a major clue about the level of power and sophistication of the weapons these characters possess. When Shamrock summons Cerberus from his sword, he is not merely using a devil fruit to conjure a creature. The interaction between the sword and the summoning seems more like a manipulation of advanced technology or a magical ability, which aligns more with the idea that the celestial dragons possess certain secret knowledge passed down through generations. What I suggest here is that Shanks's sword Griffin may be linked to an ancient technology belonging to the celestial dragons or possibly the Lost Kingdom itself. Rather than being a simple sword that channels a devil fruit, Griffin could be a magical weapon made from lost century technologies, like the ancient weapons we know, such as the poneglyphs and the very power of the rivers of the soul. This technology could be capable of manifesting powerful effects when used by someone like Shanks, who not only has excellent swordsmanship, but also a deep understanding of what the world truly represents. The idea that Griffin could be an artifact with magical or technological abilities adds a new dimension to the theory. The celestial dragons, as bearers of this secret knowledge, might have developed methods to transform ordinary objects into weapons that can summon creatures or manipulate natural forces. We don't need to limit the analysis to a simple relationship with a devil fruit, as that would reduce the impact of Shanks's sword to something more conventional. Therefore, Griffin could be a unique artifact, capable of manifesting different forms of power, very much like what we've seen with the plumber's technology and the weapons of the lost century. Another interesting point to consider is the nature of Griffin and its possible connection to the concept of spirit or soul. In One Piece, we've seen how certain objects and weapons can carry fragments of power or will, such as Mihawk's swords and the samurai blades. It wouldn't be surprising then if Shanks's sword could summon a mythical creature or manifest in different forms depending on the situation, utilizing a magical or technological force related to the energy of the soul, a power that goes beyond the simple effect of a devil fruit. Shanks's story so far has always been marked by mysteries, and he himself seems to have control over certain elements of the One Piece world that few others possess. His ability to remain distant from major conflicts, to be a man of few words yet of extreme importance, may be the key to understanding the true nature of his sword and his power. If Griffon were indeed a weapon created through advanced technology from the celestial dragons, it would explain its connection to something as grand as the mythology of the griffin, a creature that symbolizes the power to control both the sky and the earth, something that aligns perfectly with Shanks's philosophy and objectives. Finally, the connection between Shanks's sword and the celestial dragons could also point to another layer of the plot, involving the rise and fall of empires and the eternal struggle for control of the world. Shanks, being someone with a direct relationship with one of these mysterious technologies, might be acting as an agent of balance, with the power to challenge both the forces of the Marines and the celestial dragons themselves. Griffon, as a manifestation of something so powerful and ancient, could be a tool that he uses not only for battle, but also to maintain his position as one of the most important characters within the global power structure. Perhaps in the end, Shanks is much more than a simple pirate, but someone who holds the knowledge and weapons necessary to rewrite the rules of the world, and his sword, Griffin, may be the key to understanding his true role in all of this. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.